In the evening, a young man was taking a leisurely walk along the road. Suddenly, a tiny figure darted out from the roadside, rushing straight to his feet. The young man looked closely and saw it was actually a little kitten. It was soaked in muddy water all over, its fur messy and matted, and its tiny body was still shivering. The kitten timidly approached the young man, its big, wet eyes full of helplessness, as if desperately begging, hoping the stranger in front of it would take it in. The sudden appearance of the little guy surprised the young man and softened his heart, leaving him at a loss for a moment. He looked around him. He only had an unfinished bottle of mineral water. After a moment of hesitation, the young man was moved by compassion. He cut an opening in the mineral water bottle and gently placed the shivering little kitten inside. On the way home, the young man encountered another stray cat. It might be the kitten's mother. "Is this your mom?" Seeing that her child had been adopted, she turned and left with peace of mind. Returning home, the young man immediately found a clean towel to dry the muddy water off the kitten. He then found a thick foam box to make a temporary little bed for the little guy. With the mess cleaned away, the kitten's delicate appearance gradually revealed itself. Its round eyes and tiny nose instantly looked extremely cute. Feeling sorry that the little guy was starving, the young man immediately went out to buy cat treats. Seeing the food, the already famished kitten immediately started wolfing it down. Its little head kept nudging the cat treat, eating 2 sticks in one go, which made one feel both heartache and joy. Under the young man's careful care, the kitten grew day by day, and its appearance became increasingly handsome because it was a soft and cute orange cat. The young man gave him a sweet name, Gold Bean. To provide Gold Bean with extra nutrition, the young man specially bought a box of frozen shrimp. Since Gold Bean was still young, he could only eat 1 boiled shrimp at a time. The large shrimp looked like a premium lobster in his eyes, and he always ate it with great relish. After eating the shrimp, the young man would also feed him some soft pumpkin, a mix of meat and vegetables, for a balanced diet. Little Gold Bean had an excellent appetite, and his body visibly grew sturdy, making him look even more adorable. The young man and his girlfriend both treated this little guy as the apple of their eye, preparing various delicious meals for him in different ways. In their free time, they would take Gold Bean to the supermarket. The little guy was particularly afraid of strangers. Even when seeing his favorite small fish, he would be so scared that he kept burying himself in the girlfriend's arms, looking just like a frightened little baby. Upon returning home, he always had to gnaw on a freeze-dried treat to calm his nerves. Before doing so, he would repeatedly play with it, using his little paws, looking adorably naive. Watching Gold Bean grow rounder day by day, the young man planned to take him out for walks to exercise. But little Gold Bean was born disliking exercise. As soon as the leash was put on, he would lie flat on the ground, refusing to move a single step. Not taking a single step. Oh my goodness. Playing dead like this. Can't we just go out for a walk? Whether I get used to it or not. All right. Hey. This time, the young man didn't indulge him, and directly carried him out the door. Once outdoors, the timid Gold Bean saw passers-by, and was so scared that he lay motionless on the ground. Helpless, the young man put him in the grass. But the little guy only carefully shuffled 2 steps, then nervously looked around, terrified that someone would snatch him away. As Gold Bean gradually grew up, the young man specially ordered a spacious and exquisite cat house online. The assembly process was particularly strenuous. 2 workers busied themselves for over 2 hours to finish the installation. Looking at his very own new home, Gold Bean obediently lay inside, his brows relaxed, revealing a satisfied smile. In the blink of an eye, Goldbean had been home for 2 months. The former little kitten had completely turned into a chubby, round little fatty. Every time he saw his adorably naive look, the young man couldn't help but reward him with snacks. Goldbean refused nothing and ate with great satisfaction. But overfeeding made his figure increasingly bloated, to the point where he couldn't even jump onto a shelf that was just a bit taller than him. No good. To get the inactive Goldbean to move more, the young man would always hold a cat teaser and play with him after he was full, though saying he needed to control his diet. The young man remained exceptionally doting. It wasn't long before he changed Goldbean's tableware and got a new flavor of cat food, coaxing the little guy into a happy mood again. Not long after, it was time for Goldbean's second vaccination. Upon arriving at the pet hospital, the nurse recognized him at a glance, teasingly remarking that the little guy had gained a lot of weight again and was almost unrecognizable. Goldbean was remarkably well behaved during the injection, staying quiet the whole time, with his mouth slightly curled. He even looked as if he was secretly happy. Back home, the young man carefully decorated the cat house again, making this little home even more warm and cute. Goldbean curled up inside comfortably, filled with joy. The days spent with Goldbean always passed quickly and happily. In the blink of an eye, 3 months had passed, and Goldbean had fattened into a round little gas cylinder. Soft and squishy, cute to the extreme, the young man kept saying every day that he needed to lose weight. But then he would turn around and hug him, dotingly rubbing his little head. I say, Boss Gold, you are only 4 months old. Why do you have the look of an old cat? Ah. Why? Why are you so lazy? Looking at it this way, can you guys tell he is a cat? It looks like a dog. Feels like a dog, like a corgi. But actually he is a kitten. Seeing Goldbean becoming increasingly fat, the young man made up his mind to take him out for more activities. That day, he took Goldbean fishing at the seaside, wanting the little guy to take the opportunity to stretch his limbs. But the stray cats wandering on the shore made the timid Goldbean completely shrink back, refusing to come out no matter what. The young man stopped pushing him and focused on fishing. But for a long time, no fish took the bait. Not wanting to lose face in front of Goldbean, he had to ask an old man fishing nearby for a small fish, although he didn't catch it himself. At least Goldbean's trip wasn't in vain. Back home, the young man carefully steamed the small fish, meticulously picked out the fish bones, and let Goldbean taste the delicious fish meat. One small fish wasn't nearly enough to fill his stomach, so the young man poured him a bowl full of cat food and solemnly promised to definitely catch a big fish himself next time. Not long after, the young man fulfilled his promise and took Goldbean fishing again. This time, he and a friend got on a speedboat and headed towards the deep sea. The sea breeze carrying a salty scent blew against their faces. The speedboat cut through the azure sea, churning up waves that left a long white wake at the stern. Goldbean obediently lay on the young man's shoulder, his little head curiously observing the boundless ocean, his round eyes full of novelty. He made no fuss at all, just quietly accompanied the young man, his small body gently swaying with the boat, looking well behaved and healing. Sure enough, this sea trip was highly rewarding. The young man caught several fish in succession. Looking at the lively catch, he knew Goldbean was in for a treat today. That day, the young man enjoyed himself thoroughly, while Goldbean stayed quietly nestled by his side, becoming the most considerate little companion. Back home, The young man laid all the fish on the floor. The huge pile of fish instantly mesmerized Gold Bean, who couldn't help but lean forward and keep licking, truly craving it immensely. The young man selected the largest fish, steamed it thoroughly, patiently picked out the fish bones, and this time, finally let Gold Bean feast to his heart's content. Gold Bean buried his head, taking big bites of the tender fish meat, eating with deep involvement and satisfaction, his two hind paws unconsciously lifting, his face full of unconcealable happiness. After eating his fill, he licked his lips and little paws, still wanting more, looking completely satisfied. Under the young man's day after day doting and feeding, Gold Bean became rounder and rounder, his cheeks and body rounding into a fluffy little ball. Though a bit fatter, it made him even cuter. Every time they went out, he would attract a crowd of children watching. Everyone would carefully pet him. Gold Bean would submissively lie on the ground, letting everyone take pictures and tease him, just like a highly popular little star. Seeing Gold Bean becoming increasingly well-behaved and sensible, the young man brought back the parrot he had previously sent to his hometown, Malu, to keep Gold Bean company. Unexpectedly, the cat and the bird quickly became intimate good friends. Gold Bean no longer lay still all day. He often chased Malu, running all over the house, bouncing around full of energy. He could even easily jump onto the bed and leap onto the windowsill. When tired of playing, Malu would stand steadily on Gold Bean's back to rest. One cat and one bird accompanying each other. This friendship-crossing species was exceptionally warm, like a picture of peaceful times. Healing and heartwarming. To let Gold Bean exercise better, the young man came up with another clever idea, which was to take him out to climb trees. But the chubby Gold Bean was simply too fat, let alone climbing up. As soon as he touched the trunk, he would slide down step by step, looking comical and cute. In the days that followed, whenever he had free time, the young man would take Gold Bean out to climb trees. Most of the time, Gold Bean would just lazily lie on a low branch, basking in the sun motionless. The young man originally hoped he could master the skill of tree climbing, but seeing Gold Bean lying on the branch bathing in the sunlight, his fluffy fur warmed by the sun, looking so languid and beautiful, the young man's mindset gradually became at ease. He suddenly understood there was no need to force Gold Bean to become agile and vigorous, nor to obsess over making him lose weight and get in shape. Every cat has its own way of living. A bit fatter is fine, a bit lazier is okay too. As long as he can be carefree, healthy, and happy every day, that is the happiest thing. His original intention of doting on him was simply hoping this formerly stray, suffering little orange cat could always be treated gently by his side and spend his life peacefully and happily. All gentle encounters in the world are destined fate. The young man used patience and love to heal Gold Bean's past sufferings, while Gold Bean used companionship and cuteness to fill the young man's life. For the rest of their lives, they will protect each other, warmly accompanying one another year after year. This mutual love will forever shine brightly in their ordinary days.